Sometimes certain events in our lives can be so profound, so pronounced, so obvious, and so clear that at that moment that it happens, you know, you've changed, and there's no going back.
Born to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain, though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon.
Christmas of 1977, I just turned 14, and my brother Larry bought me Neil Young's new record at the time, American Stars and Bars. There was something about that album, man. I loved it right from the beginning, right from the get-go. And the song Like a Hurricane, it just jumped off the needle, just jumped off the record. I still have a hard time explaining it to this day, but it was mesmerizing. It had all this atmosphere. And what I said over the years about Neil Young's music and me is that it's always felt like home to me. What I mean by that is just very familiar. It's very comforting. Very. It's kind of like if you walk into your house and all the lights are off, you can kind of find your way around because you just know the house so well. You just know your way around. That's how his music feels to me. I just feel safe with it. It's very familiar to me, and I can't explain it any better than that. And I've loved it ever since I first got that record.
You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain, though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon.
Not long after that, I went to my first rock concert, just before my 15th birthday. Neil Young was touring with Crazy Horse, the Rest Never Sleeps tour, and they were at the Forum in Inglewood, just outside of LA. And I begged my parents to let me go. They weren't too into the idea because of my age, and it wasn't the best area for a young kid like me to be hanging out. So I talked a friend of mine from school into going with me, and his dad offered to take us, and he waited for us in the parking lot. But from start to finish, man, I was mesmerized. I loved every minute of it. And as I watched him play, he just seemed to be in this zone, a trance or something. Almost as if he didn't realize there were other people there. He really pulled you into his world. And he didn't let you out until the end of the night. And I was all in. I kept thinking, man, that looks like so much fun. Just pure, unadulterated joy. It was life-changing for me, man. If I had to pick just one event, besides the birth of my kids, as the one that opened one door and shut tight another, it was that show, man, that night. I left pretty inspired. I knew right then. I wasn't going to college. I wasn't going to study to be anything else, man. I'm doing that. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloon. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain.
The tragedy with the Things was, we split up, or when the band kind of fell apart. It was 1988. The music world was, it was MTV era. There's a lot of, the whole new wave thing was the thing. Electronic drums and funky hairdos and out of that came the hair metal band scene.
So you think what you say is gold. Your words are forever bought and sold. You're well spoken, so I'm told, but this conversation's growing old. Every time you open up your
Not long after we split up, Nirvana and Pearl Jam came in and shut the door on the hair metal band scene and all that kind of stuff, which is what for me, that's what rock and roll needed. We needed that. And I remember just when that happened, sitting on the sidelines going, God damn it, couldn't this have happened a couple years earlier? We were primed for that, but that's how it goes, right?
cover up, that's your will and how. But when morning comes, scream and shout. When she smiles, she moves me slowly. When I touch her.
Larry Klein had he moved into this little one room back house, and he bought a half-inch 8-track recorder and set up a little recording studio in this little house. It really was just it was one room, the bed over here, little kitchen area, tiny little sink, a bathroom, and then a big room where he kept all his recording gear and music stuff. He lived right there.
I met her in a dream.
We just recorded, it was pretty fun, man, because we just recorded anything and everything, and by now Larry was writing songs too. So, and everything that I had with the things that wasn't going to get recorded, now we were recording in this homemade studio that Larry built in his house.
Well, that's how it was. You must know how I
It was one long party. It went on for a good 2 years, of just recording, hanging out and recording all the time.
When she smiles, she moves me slowly. When she smiles, she moves me slowly.
And by now, Roy had quit Red Cross and had come over and played drums with us. Him and my buddy Glenn would come by different times. So we had 2 drummers, recording with us. Then Larry and I would do the rest. I played a lot of bass and keyboards, and we just goofed around and recorded. Sometimes we had nothing to record. We just get together and just start jamming, turn the microphones on. Something would happen. Sometimes not. But that was the beauty of it. There was no pressure to do anything perfect or anything for anything. It was just for the sake of having a good time recording songs.
Maybe I should at least give her my name.
But after about a year, we really kind of started thinking we should take this out, man. Start playing these songs in front of people. And so we needed a bass player, By now, Roy had quit Red Cross and he was on board, so it was kind of a mini Things reunion without Bob,
You're as close as I'll get to coming back the next time. But for now, I just don't want to think about it.
But Larry had a friend named John Lutzenberg, and he invited him over to come hang out with us, record, and he did, and we hit it off, and And so we started to kind of put a band together. John wrote some really good songs, man. You know, so we had 3 people writing songs, 3 people singing. You know, it was a pretty diverse band, and I often refer to that band as the band that got away. You know, because there was a lot of potential. You know, everybody was really good at what they did. We had good songs. And so we played, we went out and played a couple gigs. We didn't call ourselves The Things. We went by the name The Moondogs. You know, we were just going to kind of wipe the slate clean. But it never really got off the ground that way. You know, once we kind of started seriously maybe thinking about taking it out on the road or whatever, or out just taking it out and playing it, one by one, everybody split town.
Lately I feel sad. Lately I feel bad. It's been a long, long, long time. I was wondering, were you doing fine?
Roy had been married by now with a kid, and him and his wife decided they were going to move to Dallas, Texas. So he moved. Just a few months after that, Larry decided, him and his new girlfriend at the time, he's going to make a go of it in Oakland. So he split to Oakland. And literally a month or so after Larry split, John took off and went to Boston. So I kind of found myself abandoned, sort of.
Lately I think of you. Lately I think of you.
Hi, I'm Dark Harmon. You know me as exceptional athlete, diversified actor, part-time PR, Coors man, and weekend guitar player. And you probably think that we're all here, me and the guys, wondering what songs we're going to play, what key we're going to play them in. Fact is, we were sitting around wondering what Mike would look like in high heels.
And who influenced you?
David Cassidy.
David Cassidy?
I love the way the girls sold him.
He helped you go through puberty. Wasn't that the way it was?
Do you have a favorite pair of socks you like to wear when you play the drums? Anything that brings you good luck?
Just clean socks.
Nothing in particular.
I am somebody. I am somebody. I am.
I do that.
These are tough ones.
Oh baby
The Do-Rags. My older brother Larry's a guitar player, and he's got a guitar playing buddy he had back then when the Things were playing, mid '80s sometime. And when Things weren't rehearsing, him and Mike would hang out in our rehearsal studio, which was just a garage, but we had it converted into a nice rehearsal studio. And him and buddy Mike used to just get together and jam. They were really into like Motown, Chuck Berry, old rock and roll stuff. Really into the whole soul. White boys playing black music. One day, Roy and I just we sat in with them, man. I just put on the bass guitar and Roy played drums, and next thing you know, we had this cool little ragtag band. At some point, when Roy quit the band, my buddy Glenn from high school came in and played drums. So it was a real band, and we did a couple little recordings, I think, and I think Mike came up with the name, the Do-Rags, and we played a few gigs, but it was more just about hanging out with my older brother, growing up, we were, I think, 6 years apart, and so we were close when I was real little, but as he got to be, going through his teenage years, there was that distance, and we didn't really spend a lot of time, during those years, and it was music, man, that kind of brought us, I hate to say brought us back together, because we were never torn apart. We just had that gap, and as I got older and got more into playing, it gave us this real common ground, to really hang out and get to know each other. He's my best friend, but that was the cool thing about the Do-Rags. I got to hang out and play with him.
Dance around and around to a guitar melody.
What was cool about that band is we just didn't give a shit. We just. We were kind of defiant. We'd show up at some of these gigs, and nobody, they'd shout out, "Play Brian Girl," yeah, whatever. We'd go into "Mercy Mercy" by the Rolling Stones. We weren't, we didn't care. We were just having fun. The Do-Rags was a great way for me and my brother to spend a lot of time together playing music.
Waiting for the rising sun. Everyone was having fun.
He comes from the 70s. He's in the Wilbury. Quite an established musician. First name is Tom.
It's alright if you don't. I ain't afraid of you.
what to do with myself. I didn't have the energy to put another original band back together. And through a friend, a buddy of mine was telling me that he knew a guy that is a working cover band, a classic rock top 40 cover band, and they needed guitar. They're looking for a guitar player, and so he told him about me. And he said, you should go try it, man. Go check it out. You know, they're nice guys. And so I did, you know, and I got the gig. But that was the start of playing in cover bands. Instead of trying to sell myself as a songwriter singer, I'll just hop on the trains, and you know, I'll be a working guitar player. You know, let's give that a go for a while. I didn't have the energy to do the other thing. The music world was kind of weird to me at the time. So I just started playing. I started jumping in and out of bands, cover bands. You know, the cool thing about, well, what I liked about the cover band thing, and you know, there's, you know, you get a lot of singer-songwriters or people that are doing their own thing. They kind of, you know, it's taboo to go out there and play in a top 40 band. You're selling your soul and all bullshit. And it's just that. It's bullshit. You know, you're playing music. It doesn't really matter. You know, unless you're up there, you absolutely hate it. You know, but I didn't hate it. I had fun with it. What I got from it all was playing cover songs was always foreign to me. It was always I never had to learn Brown Eyed Girl, and I never had to learn Mustang Sally. I didn't have to learn all that stuff before. You know, with the doing your own music, you didn't have to do that. You know, and now I was kind of forced to learn new songs. You know, and back then, you didn't have YouTube and some 12-year-old kid showing you how to play it. You had to, you know, take the needle, stick it on the record player, and pull it back, and you know, and it was just a little slower process. And I never had the patience for it, man. I just didn't have the patience for learning things note for note. So I kind of finagled my way in and going in and getting as close as possible. But what I got from all that was I think I became a better guitar player. You know, when I was with the Things, I leaned on Larry a lot. You know, I was halfway decent, but Larry was just such a better guitar player than me. I just left everything, all the hard stuff to him. You know, and I just sang the songs. With this now, I had to go out there and I had a role to play, and I had to pull it off.
Thanks for nothing, what more I could do? I'd give you a hand and just step on my shoes.
Even while I was playing in cover bands, I still had a ton of songs that I wanted to at least record. You know what I and to this day still, I think what I like doing most is recording. You know, I like the whole process of writing a song and recording, starting from scratch and just kind of building it and see what happens. Sometimes you have the whole thing in your head exactly how you want it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just start with a little riff and it morphs into something, you know. I always like that. And so after Larry moved to Oakland, I went up and I bought all his recording gear that he had, you know, and I brought it back home. And I set up a little recording studio in the house I was living in at the time. And I just got to work recording my own stuff. You know, I didn't go around looking for any other players. I kind of knew how to play the parts that I was hearing in my head, so, you know, I did some home recording all on my own. This is about, you know, from like mid-90s, you know, early 90s, 1990 through 95, I spent a lot of time home recording, you know, while I was playing a cover band, but I was recording my own songs by myself, and I liked it, you know, but I always missed, you know, being in a band.
Did you believe it when you heard? Did you listen to every word? No, don't tell me. No, don't tell me. No, don't tell me. It was just a dream. Or lend you another part. Will that change your life, or will it change you for the night? I must be insane. I feel so strange. I must be insane. I'm in love with Jane. Don't come too close, it'll burn you like summer's hottest day. Under a cross stands a congregation's open hands. Heeds to his perverse demands. Children are sacrificial lambs. I'd never heard before. Let me in, but then you locked the door. It was a cold, dark night, late last December. Been such a long time now, I can hardly remember. What isn't said can be struck me, yeah. 1, 2, 3. What's my deal? Am I sweet? Elijah to my chest, struck you out. You second chance. I promise I won't let you fall. Wake up hard. Wake up hard. Because I need you to.
Somewhere over the hill, in some forgotten refuge, stalks a woodbird, wounded but willing to fight for love. Die for love. Torn and
I have a cousin, my cousin Rick. He's a few years older than me. Him and his family lived in Sacramento, and we lived in LA. So we didn't see much of each other. I think they came down one year in 1968, 69, when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. But I didn't see him for quite a long time after that. And when he did come down to visit us again, it was maybe 1978, 79. I'd been playing guitar for a year or two, and I just discovered Neil Young. And Rick shows up into town, and he's got this long hair and a beard. He's an adult by now, you know. But he had his guitar with him, but he also had this tape of all these songs that he'd recorded by himself. You know, he told me that he had a little 4-track recorder, and he recorded this tape, and he played all the instruments. And I was impressed anyway, because he was my older cousin, and he just looked really cool. You know, he had the long hair and the beard, and he looked like Dewey Bunnell from America. You know, so I was already impressed. But then he threw this tape at me, and it was inspiring, man. I gotta say, I didn't know much about recording then, you know, what it took, how you did it, any of that kind of stuff. And to know that he did everything. He played all the instruments. He played the drums, the bass, you know. I was really impressed, you know. But over the years, from that visit on, we stayed close, you know. When I had the things going, he was very supportive. He was our #1 fan. We kept in contact, and as I got a little older, I started going to visit him quite a bit, and just jamming with him. I'd literally go up for a weekend and just play all weekend, just go up to play. And what I liked about doing that was he had a lot of really good musician friends. Rick's a talented guy, man. He could play everything, piano, bass, drums. But he also surrounded himself with some really good musicians. So whenever I'd show up into town, you know, it would be a big party for a weekend. All his friends would come over and we'd just play nonstop. And it started to become like a routine. Every few months I'd drive back up there and we'd play. And we started calling these jam sessions the Mexican Whiskey Theater. Thanks, Bart. Buddy Bart threw that name out one time and I remembered it. And that's what we used. After everybody had split, Rick would turn on his recorder and him and I would do some recording, just him and I. And so we had a good album's worth of music that we recorded.
I hope that woman's coming back to me. This'll be my great lost weekend. I'll sit at the bar and cry in my beer.
But you know, it's worth noting that first visit with him, when he brought up his tape of all these songs he'd recorded all by himself, that was another turning point for me. You know, I was so impressed with that I became obsessed with learning how to record, you know, how to do that myself.
My great last weekend at the end of a working week. I can't stop thinking what that woman really meant to me, and what I did to make her want to leave.
Mama, take this badge off of me.
In 1994, my dad passed away. You know, I just turned 30, and it was sad. You know, he's my dad. It was a blow, but it was also, if I remember it right, I remember just feeling like I have to do something now. I have to grow up now. He's not around anymore. You know, the world felt safer with him around. Now suddenly he wasn't. What am I gonna do? Because I really had no plan, man. I was just kind of playing my guitar in and out of bands, recording. I wasn't thinking about what am I gonna do tomorrow. I was thinking about what am I gonna do when I wake up. You know, I had no plan.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I had hurt my back at the time too, and I couldn't really play my Telecaster anymore. So I bought a new guitar. I bought my Rickenbacker 330. It's a semi-hollow, lighter guitar, and I just wanted to get out and play, you know. And I wanted to do original music again, but I really didn't want to be the guy to put the band together. So I answered an ad. This girl, Mary Friedman, she was a young girl, a few years younger than me, putting together her first band. And she's a songwriter, you know. She wrote songs on her acoustic guitar.
Can you point me towards the light? Then again, how do I know what you say is right? You know I am a different kind of girl, one you may not understand. My hand will slip away from yours so fast. You wonder if you dreamt me. Oh yeah.
I liked Mary, man. I liked her songs. I thought her songs were they were simple songs. You know, she wasn't much of a guitar player, but she wanted to be. You know, she wanted to do this, and she wrote some. She had stories to tell, man, and she wrote them down in a clever way. I thought she wrote really good lyrics, and she had something to say. I think, you know, it was her personal journey, personal story, songs about herself. You know, but she had something to say, and I enjoyed their company. I enjoyed the band.
Play the game of life. Yesterday I thought about the big plan, the grand slam, ever shining light. I'll count the raindrops as they glisten in the sky. Don't ask me why.
Where we went wrong with that band was we tried to overcomplicate her songs. They were simple songs. We thought we were helping her out, but the band thought they were helping her out by doing all kinds of crazy stuff to make them sound a little more what everybody thought would be accessible. I in the back of my head, I always thought they were just simple songs to just stay simple, you know, in their purest form, you know.
Life shall wait.
I remember her and I one time recorded all her songs, just her and I on acoustic guitar and her singing. And I always thought that was a better sounding version of her songs than some of the overcomplicated versions we did with the full band. After about 4 years of doing this with her, it was getting to the point where what are you going to do? Are you going to, you know, you have to ask yourself, how much are you willing to give up for this? Because it comes to a certain point where you gotta, if you're going to take this to the next level, you have to leave some things behind, you know, a job. By now I'd been working, and I was in the 9-to-5 world, and I liked having insurance, and I liked being able to pay my bills, and I liked not having to borrow money from people, and I liked not sleeping on couches. I liked being financially independent, you know. And if we were going to take this to that next level, I was going to have to walk away from that and take a huge risk on this, and I wasn't willing to do it. I wasn't that connected to the music to take that risk, I guess, or that it wasn't a risk, you know. I just didn't. As much as I loved those guys, man, my heart wasn't willing to. I wasn't willing to walk away from this to go here. Simple as that, you know.
So, this is divination.
Hey, hey, hook, hey, 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 hook, hey, 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 hook, hey, 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 hey. Guide me to the prophet, show me to his way. Let me see the great beyond through the light of a new day. Setting sun, I lay my head, pray I'll find my way. My spirit's strong, my steady will, I see the kingdom upon the hill. Slowly I raised up my head and saw the faithless one. This holy man holds no disguise. Slowly I slipped into his eagle eyes.
One, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
not dying. It is not dying. Lay down all thoughts, surrender to the void. It is shining. It is shining. You may see the meaning of within. It is being. It is being.
Once again, I found myself without a band, you know, getting older, and but I knew I liked recording, man. I just, you know, I didn't necessarily have to be in a band per se. I still had songs and I was still writing at the time, and so I just said, screw it. I'm going. Just now it's a digital age, so all the recording had changed. We weren't using analog tape anymore. It was all digital. I had ADATs, and so I just invested a bunch of cash into another home recording studio, and because it was all digital, it was all new to me, a new way of doing things. The idea at that time was I was going to record a bunch of my favorite cover songs. I was going to do that to learn how to use all this recording gear before I started working on my tunes. And so I called my buddy Glenn, you know, to come play drums. He'd record about 4 or 5 drum tracks for me, and then I would, you know, do the rest as I tinkered around on this recording gear, learn how to use it. And then I met Mimi.
she keeps my kids. But my soul for mommy, you know she keeps me hid. She's a junkyard angel and she always gives me bread. And if I go down, dying, you know she's bound to put a blanket on my bed.
Mimi and I worked together for several years. And so we'd kind of known each other through work. And we just, you know, once we started to spend more time when we were talking to each other, we just hit it off. And once we hooked up, man, that was it. We were inseparable. You know, she had a 4-year-old, Yasmin, and a little over a year after we got together, we had Alex, our firstborn. And the guitars didn't come out of the case. You know, it wasn't like I made a conscious effort to quit playing. I got into being a husband and a dad and having a best friend. And I didn't turn my back on music. I just went into the other room for a little while, you know, and got into being with the family, you know. A couple years together. Mimi's family lived in Seattle. We came up here a couple times. You know, every time we went back, we was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing here in LA? You know, we love it up there. Let's move to Seattle." So we packed up the kids and moved to Seattle, moved to Beverly. You know. And man, I fell in love with this place. You know, I fell in love with Seattle. It just really felt, you know, I grew up and I lived most of my life in LA, but I always felt like I was on my way somewhere. Never felt like this is it, you know. My childhood home was home, but after that, I always felt like I was just on my way somewhere. Hadn't got there yet. Once we got here in Seattle, you know, with Mimi and the kids, it felt like this is it. This is where I was headed. You know, this feels like home to me.
They just don't know how lost I feel without you. My teardrops never see the light of day. I laugh and joke time they talk about you. 'Cause if they heard my heart, they'd hear it say.
Yeah, once we were settled here in Seattle, you know, life was good. I was working. I had a steady job, paid good, job that I kind of liked. Mimi was closer to her family because her family's all up in here, up in this area, Seattle. And the kids were growing and things were good. But I think I really started to miss it, you know. You know, I don't think I was ever unhappy. I think I just missed playing. But when I look back on that time, you know, I put on weight and I always just felt something was missing. So.
Excuse me, I think I've got a heartache. There's an aching deep inside and just won't be denied. Excuse me, I think I've got a heartache, and I better say goodbye before I cry.
I think I needed to play, you know. I mean, when I look back, I don't think I was really ever unhappy. I just, you know, physically even, I started to put on weight, you know. Something was missing, man. I needed to do this again. So Mimi and I talked about it, and I said, look, I gotta start playing again. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna find, but I need to look. I need to see what's out there. You know, so I started answering ads. You know, I started looking in the paper and online, and I found myself getting back into playing cover bands, playing all the bars in the Northwest. And eventually I found myself in this one band they were busy. Boy, every Friday, Saturday they played. It's the busiest I've ever been, anyway, playing. And it was okay for a while, you know. It was money coming in, you know, extra money. But it started to slowly kind of take a toll at home because we used to be a little spontaneous, you know. On a Saturday afternoon decided, let's go do something tonight, we would. Now it was, I can't, you know, I got a gig. What about next weekend? No, I got a gig then too. So there's a lot of that going on. So it you know, it wasn't the best thing, but you know, it was kind of like a second job, so it worked out for a while. But after about, at some point, man, I just I stopped. last band I was in didn't really end well, so I found myself again out on the streets and not playing. But by this point, I really did kind of need a break. Those guys played all the time.
So how do you want to start that? How do we start it on G?
From the time I started playing with all these bands up here, this name kept showing up in conversations. Andy Vollmer, just somebody that would, he got his gigs sometimes, or he just seemed to know everybody, and everybody seemed to know him. And now that I wasn't playing anymore, he had contacted me through Facebook, and I think he was just kind of feeling me out. He heard about me through the bands I've been playing in. And at some point, man, we kind of were talking to each other off and on, from afar, for about a year. But I always kind of felt like he was, come on, man. Why don't you get back out there and play? Come on. Kind of needling me. I thought, I could be wrong, but that's how it felt. But at some point, they were looking for a guitar player for his John Cougar Mellencamp tribute band. And by now, I was interested in this guy. I was like, well, he keeps dangling the carrot in front of me, and maybe I should just go for it. See what happens, So I got together with him and said, yeah, I'll give it a shot,
Look, that young man is right beside it. He said, I'm old and I won't outside. I work my whole life in the students in area. And the falling on me, I know I said, God is my way. I live in God and back. I'm dancing like a
we hit it off instantly, man. I really liked the guy. I've been doing this thing for a long time, playing music and in and out of bands. Every once in a while, you come across these people that you just feel a certain something about that. Hey, man, this could be a good partnership. This could be a good team. We're on the same way. We think a lot alike. We like the same kinds of music. We just have a lot of similarities. That our paths kind of went the same kind of route. Just his was here and mine was here, and now we kind of did this. But I instantly liked him, right off the bat.
You are young and you are the future. So follow on and live as you can.
Next thing I know, I'm playing guitar in his Tom Petty tribute band, which was an easy sell for me because I love that kind of stuff. But the tribute thing has never been something I ever really considered, you know. It just never crossed my mind. It's not that I didn't... It's not that I'm anti-tribute band. I just never thought about it. It was never on my radar, you know, things to do. So it was a bit of a challenge, you know, because this was, you know, the tribute. You gotta play it like it is. But at some point, him and I were talking, and he asked if I was interested in putting together a Neil Young tribute. And I said, yeah, hell yeah, you know. But Neil Young's music to me is always, it's just been very important. I don't, you know, it just is. The Beatles, Neil Young, The Who, the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, they're just important. It's like the Bible to me. So when you asked, you know, about doing this Neil Young thing, I said, yeah, under a few conditions, man. One, I'm not wearing a wig. Nobody's gonna be Neil Young. You know, it's not going to be one of those kind of tributes where one guy, you know, is so obsessed with the band and everybody else is just there because they can't find another band to be in. If we're going to do it, we got to put together a really good band. That's number one. Number two, they got to be people that we like. You know, I've been doing this a long time. You know, this excites me. This whole Neil Young thing excites me. But what could tear it down in a heartbeat is playing with the wrong people. This is something that I want to, you know, if we want to do this, let's do it right, man. Let's do it right. Let's put together a top-notch band and go out there and put together a top-notch Neil Young tribute show. Nothing that it's a parody, something that actually pays tribute and does it well.
Now
So at the moment, man, I find myself, I'm back on the train, so to speak. Feel like I'm in the driver's seat, and it feels pretty good. I've been making up songs as far back as I can remember. Long before I started playing guitar, long before I learned how to play guitar. I was making things up, writing things down, you know. It's just something I always liked to do. I still like to do it. I haven't done it as much, you know, lately. But the original idea for this whole thing was, a few years back, I was kind of going through all the tunes I'd recorded and everything I'd done over the years. And I had a box, just boxes of music that kind of been hoarding, keeping to myself, you know. And I thought it needed a home. I really didn't know what to do with it. And as I started to listen to it and put it all together, it started to tell a story to me, you know, my story, you know. You know, my story's not unique. You know, there's a lot of guys like me that are, you know, lifetime musicians, have their own experience. You know, there's nothing too unique about what I'm doing. I just thought it was time to share it with my kids, you know. Because I'm not sure they understand why I do what I do, you know. We put a lot on the line for music, some of us, and those that you can't explain that to don't understand. You know, I just wanted them to know. You know, I was hoping to come up with some sort of clever ending to this whole thing, you know, have it all make sense at the end, you know, and really, the only thing I could really say is to be continued. It's not over.
Tell me your can see.